the talking words thing.
The talking. Guess what? It's Fun Friday!
Who wants to use this? Actually, I should need this.
Step 1. Adjust your carol.
Done.
Seriously, step 1. Adjust your carol.
How many times do people sit on, they start going, and it feels funny?
Step 2.
Find a friend who set their bike on carol.
Plug yourself into carol. So,
Aru.
you say Aru?
I did.
What is my password? Ha ha ha. Beep. Now we do a little free ride with a little carol action.
No, that's this button.
And when this is free ride, so we don't have to crush ourselves. A little start.
I started.
A little something something.
So at least something going here, so it's a little bit more than nothing.
And
That's handy.
IQ bar,
Woohoo!
also known as dinner.
But
So nobody's really eating the maca chai. And the maca chai, I gotta say, is my favorite.
yeah, these because you hide it over there away from everyone because we know it's your favorite and it's one that happens to be out of everyone's view.
Anyway, 6 brain nutrients. Certainly couldn't hurt.
I do like it. That one and the lemon blueberry. God, I miss food. Those are good.
They're really good. So I ordered an entire other case and stand to go along with the case.
More things to show them off. Yeah, that'd be cool.
So,
That's what we have a show to do.
why don't we talk about your hamburgers?
If you haven't heard, I'm eating a lot of hamburgers from Burger King. What else are we going to talk about?
How can anyone find out what you're going through right now?
Oh,
Does it work?
well, depends on what you're looking for, if it works or not. But if you go to www.functionized/keto.html, I knew that was coming. You can see everything that's been going on, at least behind the scenes. There's some extra footage, keeping updated regularly. Watch
Keeping regular. Ha!
Boy. No, I'm done on that one. You can watch probably any random video for the last, 2 weeks on whatever mode you're watching this right now, Facebook, Instagram. It's going to be there. So today's a better day. If you watch the vlog series I gave today for day 13, you'll know I'm getting dizzy for no reason whatsoever, and my hand keeps cramping in very painful ways.
So other than that, how are you really doing? No, seriously, those vlogs are on Instagram and Facebook. There's an entire series of them. Just go to the Keto Project.
Keto Project, yep.
I like the other name. Everyone else
so
likes
much
this one.
better.
The younger crowd actually likes Keto Project.
Really? I really like Project Keto, but it made sense. Yeah. But in all reality, how am I doing it? I'm doing. For the one person who so far told me that you thought I was going to stop, you know who you are. I don't know if I should call Tanya out or not. But it has been a little rough, energy-wise. It feels like I'm overtraining, under-eating, and I don't think I'm doing either. It's been a blast.
I take it you're not keto adapted yet, as it's been called.
If that's why I'm feeling fatigued, I guess not. I'm not sold on it because most of my symptoms come in much more after I eat. So I don't think it's that carb flu or keto flu as much. As in, I'm probably just deficient in every given vitamin and mineral known to man, except for maybe like B. I'm sure I have some B vitamins in me. But
The whole idea of being keto adapted, you got Vivian Bullock, who wrote the book on the low-carb athlete. And it's all about keto. And I gotta say, I can't find the actual real research behind the term keto adapted. It just seems like it's a real thing. So trying to quantify, objectify this, so far has been difficult. I'm on a quest. I got a goal for Netflix in 2 years, so I've got a quest that can take 2 years to land that keto adapted evidence.
probably want to look at pancreatic enzymes release of lipase differences between carb eaters and keto doers. Because I mean, that's where it comes down to, at least it's a theory that I've been running with until we find something more substantial to prove it.
Do I have to buy more lab tests? Come on, man.
You're on this journey, maybe another direction. That might send you on a wild goose chase. But at least to me, the leading theory was you go from, that was a great example. You saw me when I was eating potatoes and then pasta inside of garlic bread. God, those were great days. From like 350 grams of carbs a day down to 30.
Mm-hmm.
I crashed hard. And what I always went by, again until proven otherwise, is that our body does a really good job at conserving energy. It's not going to make things that it doesn't need. Simple example is you take a steroid, testosterone, inject it in you, your body's going to slow down making testosterone, because why would it go through the energy of making something when you're giving it routinely exogenously? So the concept with this is our bodies, my body in that case, was eating a bunch of carbs, so there's a bunch of enzymes in your life to break down carbs. Now all of a sudden I'm throwing a bunch of protein and fat at it, and there's a huge differential of how many of what enzymes need to break it down. Otherwise you get free-floating energy and pulls us down, shoot the immune system. That's where I've been going with it. But yeah, there hasn't been anything proving it. That's just a suggested theory.
I kind of spaced out once you
Okay,
showed
you
me
watch this again.
you did that. So it's like, all right, now that's where you're injecting yourself when you get old. Got it.
Yeah.
It's not like you went like that, or like that, or like this.
It was so much easier right here. How many body parts?
I'm just happy that you didn't go.
It was EpiPen practice, always right into the leg, which I afraid of doing that too.
Podcasts.
Yes, we're
So-
on one.
We are?
Technically, you were on one earlier
We
too.
do have one. So, since you may not have known, the Negro Party podcast with Jorge Ruiz. It's actually a fun podcast. It's a lot of fun. I got to talk about sex and timing as it applies to being a guy, and how it also applies to being an athlete. When to do it, when to do it,
How to do
it,
Woo!
and how to perform at the optimal level. The idea of the whole refractory period,
Yes.
what it is, different hormone levels involved with different things, and the magic number is 30, by the way.
Okay.
Around 30.
30 days, 30
30
years,
days.
30 minutes, 30 seconds.
30 days. So, not to spoil too much, because I know everyone's going to go listen to this podcast here, but as a guy, at least, we can talk about the girls' side, or take another hour on the podcast, just listen to it, to not finish for 30 days. You can have sex every single day.
There's
Just
no
don't
orgasm.
orgasm. And
But that's the healthy part.
the testosterone will boost and boost and boost until you're a real man. And that's when you actually go and compete, whatever it may be.
Okay.
Whether the competition is a very attractive woman, or the competition is football, hockey, basketball.
So for the
Croquet.
so tomorrow when I redo my baseline for we'll call it the physical fitness test, I need to stop 29 days ago having sex.
Oh, great. I forgot to write down the sex journal. Alright, I'm hoping that you have a sex journal, right? Right?
Of course.
Good. Very good. There's a podcast I'm on in 40 minutes from now, which people will be watching this after I've completed that podcast. And yes, this afternoon was on with Christian Straka, pro tennis player and brain coach of Netflix, Facebook, Adidas.
You want to name something
Elite
you've actually
athletes.
heard of?
No, I just like going
small
down
companies
these
like those. Okay.
Exactly. So that was a lot of fun. That'll be officially up on the podcast probably in a week once I get the notes professionally done. But it was live today and it's actually on Facebook now. So enjoy Christian Straka, and as his friends like to call him, Christian Stracklaw, because his email address or his domain is christianstrata.la because he lives in Los Angeles.
Oh, okay. Strachala.
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 Cool dude. It was a great time over at Shared Universe. Thank you, Ming and Christian Cortez, for the production of that. Yeah, that's about that. So,
Okay.
let's talk about longevity, because that's kind of what we
Sure.
do here.
Very much so. At least we brag about it, we talk about it, we might as well continue.
Exactly. So, women live longer than men.
It's been rather well known and established, and it's completely factual. Yeah.
I remember in high school, the coach, basketball coach, assistant coach, he was also the geography teacher, and he said the same thing. Women live longer than men. That's because they drive us to our death. There's the joke.
There'll be
Dad joke.
probably less of those jokes since Beauty Brain Bronze isn't here with us, but
I know, Shantae She'll be back. Don't you worry.
She's not gone. She's just... Yeah. She'll be back.
Yeah. You're really tan.
But, so yeah, women live longer than men, and there are some actual reasons, like even science-based reasons why. And then there's, if you Google any memes, then there's a lot of reasons show why men die earlier. Like, reaching for, like trying to, solder electronics over a swimming pool. I mean, there's plenty of those kind of things that actually adds to this, but...
Does it really?
Yeah,
So it's like you have a virus and you die in a car accident, you died of the virus, not the car accident.
Correct.
Fascinating. I still like Dr. Lehman's idea that it's heart failure because when your heart stops, you're dead. 100% of people die of heart failure. It makes so much sense. It simplifies things.
Who would say that?
Of course. And no need for somatic dysfunction of something. Your back hurts. It's back pain.
Neck hurts, neck pain. Done.
And there's codes for that too, so it really makes it easy.
But so one of the interesting things I find with women living longer than men is that it's been steady through all recorded time, all geographic locations, all economic statuses, all mental statuses. Everything shows women live about 5% longer than their counterparts in the same demographics. It even goes to other great apes like chimpanzees, orangutans, same thing. They live longer. Maybe they get driven crazy too, I'm not sure. A lot of it does have to do with behavior, but we'll play around with that in a few minutes. But guys are given what we'll call the early life advantage, meaning there's actually more men born than women.
Yep.
105 guys to every 100 females, so not a huge difference, but enough. And how say that women live longer, we can also phrase that guys just die sooner. I know it sounds kind of dumb phrasing that way, but at any given point of life, we die first. Like fetal stage, as you mentioned, 7% more guys die before they're born than women, and it only increases as time goes on. By the first year, men die 21% more deaths before they hit their first birthday than women, and then by the time we get to 65, it's 75 guys to every 100 women, and that's a very round up. Like in 2015, the top 50 oldest people alive, how many were male? Do you know?
Nope.
2. Of the 50 oldest, 2 are guys. Math, other 48 were women. So this is very much across. Someone was there trying to count on fingers, realized they didn't have enough fingers, and they grew their
science, math. Science!
Oh my god.
The other arm, math.
Math.
Math, there you go, math. Science, math.
So throughout all lives, we just die sooner. A couple reasons for it.
I love this. This is the scientific part, because we're always... you do your thing, because I'm just really all about the primal...
You want to go to the non-scientific part first?
No, let's do the scientific.
Let's go.
Alright.
Let's see where you lead.
We got 3 things in life that we're meant to do. Fight or flight, feed, and that podcast I was on. We'll call it procreation that starts with an F.
There you
3 Fs. When we are well fed, we've got kids running around, and we don't have to run away. I mean, we're trying to conserve energy. We need that energy for certain things. Our cells only use what is required of them for certain things. That's why it's not very smart to be an ultramarathoner. That's why it's not very smart to be a long-term marathoner, because we're taking so much energy away from the vital functions that we need. So if there is an organ, in that sense, that is deficient and needs fuel, well, we die. Because there's now no fuel to go to it. So guys are bigger, right? Girls are tiny.
Yeah, in general.
So I love when girls, I tell them how much to eat. You only need 1,200 calories. Oh, I need so much more than that. You're 5 foot nothing. You weigh 100 and nothing. You do not need more than that.
One day I buy that. 100% I buy you one more. But
so that's my theory, is the fact that girls are just smaller, they need less energy, and guys were bigger, hence the guys that are born with gigantism, for instance, tend to die far sooner.
Yep. So your theory is held up pretty well as part of this. 100%. We're bigger. We use more energy, as you're already alluding to. We eat more, which that alone makes a huge difference. People who eat 1,600 calories a day as opposed to 2,000 calories a day live 4 to 6 years longer of like an 80-year span. I mean, it's significant.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I definitely eat far more than 1,600 calories in a day.
Of course.
But yeah, that's just being larger. And then you mentioned something. Let's see if I can remember it before I'm done rambling stalling for this one. I don't think I am. But, the idea of guys are meant to do certain things. Once a kid pops out, our job, evolutionarily speaking, is done. It doesn't matter nearly as much. It's much more important that the female lives longer with the child. Part of that. A lot of it comes down to, size, and then just other general differences between men and women. This gets a little bit more societal, but we take more risks. We'll start out with the hedonistic risks, like drinking, smoking, that kind of stuff. And this is where it changes.
Hookah's a big thing lately. I keep hearing guys drinking hookah.
That's right. You were in not a debate, but you were asking what was up with it, basically.
I was.
Yeah, but I mean, guys, we do more of that stuff. Like, it's where the gap between different cultures really change. Like, in the U.S., the average male lives to, right now, projected 76 years old, women 81. In Russia, those guys are known to drink and smoke, pretty much as they come out of the womb. Guys die on average 13 years sooner than women.
Wow.
13! I mean, that's really significant. Granted, a lot of that comes down to that's all environmental, but again, that's part of the ploy, not the biggest one, but that's part of it. And then just risky behaviors in general. Men are more likely to die of every single cause of death that they are capable of getting. So like uterine cancer isn't going to kill us more than women. But everything else, we die more than women. Whether it's accidental or purposeful, we die more at everything, except for one thing. Automobile accidents.
No, girls aren't paying attention. Put on their makeup.
Since I'm going to spend this whole time talking about, that just hit me what you said. Talking about how we die so much sooner, I will throw them under the almost, we'll call it proverbial bus here. Women cause and die in more car accidents than guys. That's the only equal death that they die more in. And there's supposedly reasons for it. One is that they're shorter and they just can't see as well, especially in intersections.
I've seen Shantae in the Hummer, and she needs a phone book.
I mean, being able to see forward, let alone to the sides, and then in general, guys drive more. So I mean,
you do it more.
Yeah, when you do something more, you become a little bit more proficient at it. Something with driving, that half-second response of proficiency makes a difference.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the most likely causes. But
what about the fact that we also don't like to stop for directions? We don't like to go to the doctors either.
That was going to be the next one.
We can have the detective, right?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, women get found they're sick a lot more because they're just on it more. Like if they do routine checkups, us guys are much less likely to.
Why do girls go to a girl doctor, the OB? We don't have a penile doctor.
We wouldn't go to one if they had one. They're already out of business. That's
it's true. I mean,
and then when we do go to the doctors, I say we because for the guy's sake, is we're much less likely to be compliant. Even if we say, you know what, he's right, I should do that. Go grab my cigar. Like, we're just stubborn.
Doc, I'll stop. Just bought an entire new box. I'll stop when I'm done. You want one?
Well, it's reoccurring every month for the next 10 years. So those are the big environmental He-Man factors of why we die sooner. But there's biological ones outside of the evolutionary part you were pointing to. And it all comes down to our hormones. Every freaking time it has to do with our hormones, which shouldn't be a surprise for our standard listeners, because anti-aging, again, we talk about this a lot, we do this a lot. Estrogen helps you live longer. Mm-hmm. There's some of the estrogens, the main one is, I'll go with estrogen, because it's more fun to say than estrogen. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's a powerful antioxidant. It helps with longevity, slows down free radicals, helps with cellular division. And when we're talking years on end, women have that and guys don't, or not as much. We ourselves mutate quicker. We're more likely to, the telomeres that kind of tell us how old our cells are will deplenish quicker. And that's really the big one. A couple other things with, this might be close to earmuff talk, but I think you're safe, is they call it the female jogging theory. It's pretty much during the second half of their menstrual cycle, their heart rate is raised. That was it. Heart rate is raised for the second half. So for like 30 to 40 years, half of the year, they have a slightly elevated heart rate, which can mimic mild exercise. So that plays a little factor. You're talking 40 years differently with your average person, that could add up. What else you got?
Body fat?
That's
Visceral
a very good one. The difference between, with, again, testosterone and estrogen is, guys, we hold it, a lot of our fat on the visceral fat around our organs, while women do subcutaneous, under the skin. That might not sound like a big deal, but that makes a huge difference because visceral fat is directly correlated to diabetes, cardiovascular issues, pretty much anything metabolic or cardiovascular. So we're already in line for that. So yeah, hormones make a big difference. We still want to have some of both, but testosterone appears to kill us a little bit faster. And when you get down to our exact chromosomes, more things that help with the anti-aging component. Let's go back in a high school biology class real quick. Our 23 pairs of sex chromosomes. Women have 2 X's. We have an X and a Y. That doesn't seem like much, but they have double of everything, which means if something goes awry, mutations start to happen, they have a backup, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
We don't ourselves just mutate, we get cancer in our prostate, and we die. Other small factors.
Sounds amazing.
What is more interesting to me, things, is women get sick actually more than guys. This is excluding, oh, I think I got a bug when we go to the doctor. They actually get ill more often than guys. Your immune system is a little weaker. And it's actually all for making the children's immune system better. Because for immune system to hit, I mean, obviously, as you know, you need to have your immune system challenged.
Mm-hmm.
So with women, especially when they're having kids, their immune system drops down. They're more likely to get viruses, infections, to create the antibodies to get to the kids. So women do get sick more, but it's to help the offspring, which helps them in return probably live longer as our immune system goes down when we hit, the elder years.
Makes sense. Let's get to the part that we were talking about earlier today that I cringe about. Guys that live longer. There's a actual biohack
How did I miss
for a guy
this
to
one?
live longer.
I will never participate in this one.
High five to never participating.
Boom! Keeping my balls. So, you want to continue this one, or should I?
Castration. Eunuchs. You get castrated, you live longer.
Yeah, I mean, this was a...
To which is also the idea of why in the world, if I have no balls, do I want to live longer? Let me bleed out. I'm good.
In any eunuch's defense, because they don't want to offend anybody here, I don't think they got their
I
balls...
don't give a damn about offending people nowadays.
Yeah, I'm over that.
Get over it.
Alright, that was my BS thing to say. They don't usually get a choice. If you don't know what a eunuch is, it's when... Thankfully, I don't think they do this much anymore. If so, don't put your kids in choir. But it's when young boys have this gorgeous voice, they can hit the high notes, they want to keep it. It's usually the thing through church. They want to keep that high-pitched voice. So they castrate them and they keep that high-pitched voice. Then, of course, they get a lot taller, overweight, because they're not producing testosterone, but they live a lot longer. And that's what they found, it wasn't a, hey, you want to live longer, let's castrate you. It just so happens, ha ha ha, you have no balls, or you're living 10 years longer than me. And they found out with a couple of different patterns. Same thing with, I can't believe this was a therapy, but in psych wards for psychological conditions, I don't know which ones, I didn't want to look up, but castration was the cure for it. And they realized that people who were castrated before the age of 15 lived 10 years longer on average, which started the whole idea of, hey, testosterone probably plays a factor here. But then, of course, we can get in much more detail of having too low testosterone, the kind of problems that causes. That's probably a whole other show.
True.
So keep it in a healthy range. I don't recommend getting castrated.
I'm right there with you.
I'm
I'm agreeing with you on this
There's
one.
a lot of biohacks. I'm for that one. I'm a little off. But, so yeah, when it comes down to it, guys, we are more stubborn. We take more risks. And our sex organs say that we should die sooner. That's the short of it.
I like it.
Hey, 23 and a half minutes. What was that? This
Is what it is.
exhausting.
So next week
It's another week.
we're gonna do this again, and Shantae should be with us. I don't know what we're gonna do yet, but we're doing something pretty dumb.
I'll bring in the shake weights.
Love it.
God. How are we doing today?
Oh, that was on Thor Ragnarok.
Yes,
They did
you
have
told
it
me
on
that.
that,
I
yep.
could not believe that. I didn't. I actually had to go look. God, that was funny. But yeah, we'll have another topic we'll converse on. That's about all I've got right now.
That's about all I got too.
But if you want more questions, I mean, the keto project is going great. We'll have more updates on that because tomorrow doing the baseline workout. So if you guys want to see what I look like pushing really hard and most likely vomiting on burgers,
We'll be there for
that. Close-ups. Oh, hell. I think there's even a preview on the Functionised page or Healthy Happy Hour.
For which?
At least I saw the baseline. I think
Oh, the
it was
baseline. I put it on the Functionized page. On the functionized.com/keto.html.
Yeah,
It's up there. Just
you go to functionized.com/
You can see all Dr. Mike's preliminary baseline results, and watching him do a 40 on that one as well.
I want to be
Unedited 40.
I can tell it's unedited because there's about 30 seconds of me staring at the ground before. Okay.
All right. So as always, thank you for being with us, and we are going to be here for a very, very long time.
Without castration.
Without castration. All right, castration up.
Castration out.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're out. Live functionized.
Have a crap ton of fun.